Is the 7 SAUM the best long-range cartridge? Stay tuned, we'll talk about it. The 7 SAUM 7 short action ultra mag was developed in 2002 by Remington. It was to compete against the 7mm mag. In my eyes, there's no contest. 7 SAUM I think is a better cartridge. That's very debatable. It has less powder capacity, but will do about the same ballistics. We could go into bullet details and all that later. So in my 7 SAUM, this guy here, I shoot a Hornady 190 grain Atip. So I cannot run the 7 SAUM in a short action like it was designed for. So I run it in a long action just so I could shoot those longer bullets. The longer bullets have so much better BC on them than the shorter 162s, 168s. The 175s and up have just so much better BC. And one of the reasons why we are posting a lot on social media, Mitchell, myself, my brother, we're going to Wyoming in about 3 weeks. We're going to the Nightforce ELR match, which stands for Extreme Long Range. The closest target is 800 yards. And then there is a 2,200 yard target. I believe that's a bonus target. This is my first time going to the match. I'm very excited to go. My background, as a lot of you know, was in the precision rifle. I used to be big into competition shooting. I've gotten out of it for the last few years. My kid's growing up, running 2 businesses. I just don't have time to practice like I should if I want to be competitive, and I just don't want to do something substandard. But this is going to be a fun match. This is all shot prone. And like I said, our closest target, I believe, is 800 yards. And I think the majority of them are between that 800 to about 1,300. There's some that are mild, 1,760. We practiced that last Friday. I got a hit on the 1,800 yard target on my second hit. I took 5 rounds at the 2,160 yard target, and I did not hit it. I was dancing all around it, a little bit left, a little short, a little right, a little high. So we're gonna go practice again a couple more times before we go out. But I'm gonna talk about my 7 SAUM, and I'm gonna start from the rear to the front. So the rear of it, I'm running an XLR buttstock. I've had this on one of my ARs for a long time. It's pretty beat up, but it's super comfortable. Adjustable length of pull, your cheek height, and it has an AR buffer tube with an AR castle nut. I'm running a Ergo grip. This is one of their deluxe grips. This is the one that is a vertical grip. It puts your hand in a better position. I like to put my thumb on top and rest my thumb on the right side of the action. I'm running a Bighorn Orgin Long action with a Magnum bolt face. Like I was saying earlier, I have to run the long action for those 190 grain bullets. My chassis is a MDT ESS chassis. It has the handguard. I opted for the carbon handguard. I painted the chassis and the handguard. I did a black and gray Cryptek. It's one of my favorite color schemes. I'm also running a Atlas bipod. These are very adjustable. You could put them in a 45 degree, all the way up 90 on both sides, and 45 on both sides. So these are a great bipod, BT Industries Atlas bipod. And of course, everybody probably guessed, running one of our Spade Composites barrels. This is a 7mm barrel. It is, I actually had Straight Jacket Armory chamber this one for us. They had the reamer. I asked Cole and Kurt to chamber it for the 190 grain bullets to extend the throat a little bit. It is a 24-inch barrel, and on the very end, I'm running my Huxwrx titanium 7.62 can. The very top, I have a US Optics. This is one of my older ones. This is a B10 in a spur mount. So I have a 20 MOA base on my action, and then this spur is also 20 MOA. So it points my scope pretty severely down, just so I could reach those long distances. I had a hard time zeroing it at 100 yards. It is all the way down for a 100-yard zero. I'm not sure if I'm gonna keep it at 100-yard zero or if I'm gonna do a 500-yard zero. I'm gonna play with that a little bit for the next couple of weeks, but this thing has been shooting lights out. I just put the first rounds through it about 2 weeks ago. I broke it in, I did some low development, and I settled on 61.5 grains of H1000 for the 190 grain bullet, and my overall length is 3.11. 3.11 is my overall length with those 190 grainers. I also run a Timney trigger. I forgot that part. It is a Timney. This one is the Hunter. I have it set at about 1.5 pounds. I like my triggers pretty light. I usually go for about a pound trigger. And the recoil's not bad with the suppressor, or if you put a muzzle brake on it, it's really manageable. It feels similar to a 308. I think this kicks less than a 300 Win Mag. Mitchell will be shooting a 300 Win Mag at that match, and we took them both out. He only took it out to 1800. I don't think the 300 Win Mag with the 220s that he's shooting, I think it goes transonic before it hits that 2200. I'm sure he'll give it a shot. I think we have 10 shots at that target. I believe that's what I read, 10 shots at the unicorn target at 2200 yards. So this is it. So to get back to my original question, is this the ultimate long range cartridge? No. All the new cartridges are so similar nowadays. The 28 Nosler, the 7 Mag, the 7 PRC, the 300 PRC, 300 Win Mag, they're so similar in ballistics. It's whatever your favorite is. I've always wanted a 7 short action ultra mag since it came out in the early 2000s. In 2004, I was contemplating on building one. I just didn't know enough about it. So this past year, we had an extra 7 mil 1 1/8 twist barrel, and I decided to scoop it up for myself and sent it out and got it chambered how I wanted it. So when I got the barrel, it headspace perfect. We built it up, and I actually wasn't sure which scope to put on it for this match. I'm still debating if I want to keep this. I've been eyeballing a Nightforce ATACR, one of the 2.20s, 2.5 to 20s. I'm thinking about pulling the trigger on that, but I'm just not sure yet. But these Bighorn Orgins, once they're broken in, they're actually a really nice action. My trigger pull, I always set my triggers about 1 pound to 1.5 pounds. This one is right there, about 1.3, I believe it is. We just checked it on the trigger pull gauge today. My US Optics, I have plenty of elevation. I believe it called for 26 mils out to 2200 yards or 2160 when we shot, and I could dial that whole thing without running out of space on my turret. So this is a custom build. We are offering a lot more bolt guns. Most people know us for the Predator hunting guns, but I've been building bolt guns for at least 10 years. My very first one I built was a 243. In the last couple of years, we built some 26 Noslers, 28 Noslers, 6.5 PRC, 7 PRC. I got a 300 PRC, couple 300 Win Mags, 7 SAUM. So if you want anything for big game hunting or for long range competitions, I'd be more than happy to talk to you about any potential builds you have. And you don't have to get the MDT chassis. You can put it in a regular traditional style stock. My 300 Win Mag is in a AG Composites carbon stock. That's what I shot my antelope with 2 years ago. Another reason why we've been doing a lot of the bolt gun stuff is in October, Mitchell and I are going bear hunting. And then at the end of October, beginning of November, we're going to Colorado, and we're going to get an over-the-counter tag for a bull. And we're going to take these rifles. I'm going to take this rifle, this one with all the stuff on it, the scope, the heavy mount, suppressor, bipod, it still weighs under 15 pounds. It's like 14 1/4. So it's not as heavy as it looks. For the long range competition, I think the heavier the rifle soaks up more of the recoil, but this one's not bad at all. I really, I'm very happy with this build, and this one's gonna be staying in the safe for a long time. If you guys have any questions on the bolt gun builds, even an AR build, I'm always available. I take care of all the social media. Sometimes you'll get me or Matt on the telephones. I also answer most of the emails, and if you have any questions, don't ever hesitate to ask. Thanks again, and we'll look forward to seeing you guys out on the range.